October 15, 1942. At Henderson Field on Guadalcanal, Marine Scout Bombing Squadron 132 prepares for a mission that could determine the fate of the island. The Douglas SBD, 3 Dauntless bombers taxi across the mud-caked airstrip, their perforated dive brakes glinting in the South Pacific sun. Ground crews call them Swiss cheese for the hundred of holes punched into the split flaps, a strange detail that turns out to be a deadly advantage. A fast Japanese convoy is racing down the slot, carrying troops and supplies aimed at smashing through the marine perimeter. If those ships reach Guadalcanal by morning, the American position could collapse. Lieutenant Commander John Patterson studies the approaching enemy on the intelligence board. The formation, destroyers and transports, is closing fast, threading between islands at over 25 knots. Their target, Lunga Point. Their cargo, hundreds of infantry and enough ammunition to turn Henderson Field into rubble. Patterson and his wingman, Captain Frank Morrison, understand what's at stake. The SBD Dauntless is no ordinary bomber. It's a precision strike platform built for steep, stable dives, able to deliver bombs within yards of target. It's not about how many planes take off. It's about whether they hit what matters. At 8:47 a.m., 18 Dauntless bombers lift into the air. They climb through broken clouds, each aircraft powered by a Wright Cyclone engine capable of 1,000 horsepower. In the rear seats, gunners like James Murphy check their twin .30 caliber Brownings, eyes scanning for enemy zeros. At 9,200 feet, the enemy ships are spotted, a convoy slicing through the water in perfect formation. Destroyers lead, transports trail behind. White wakes cut clean lines across the deep blue. They expect torpedoes and level bombers, attacks they might evade with clever turns. What they don't expect is what comes next. Patterson radios the base. Cactus, this is Marine bomber. Target acquired. Commencing dive bomb attack. The reply is short and sharp. Marine bomber, Cactus base. You are cleared hot. Give 'em hell. The formation breaks into 3 attack elements, each assigned a specific ship. Patterson rolls his aircraft inverted and dives. As the Dauntless drops, its dive brakes deploy, the perforated flaps creating drag without instability, allowing the pilot to aim even during a near-vertical plunge. Anti-aircraft fire bursts in the sky, but the steep angle compresses reaction time, and Japanese fire control struggles to track the plunging aircraft. At 1,500 feet, Patterson releases his bomb. A moment later, it detonates near the bow of the lead destroyer. The ship lurches, engulfed in fire and spray. Morrison follows, diving on another destroyer. His bomb smashes into the superstructure, shredding the bridge and knocking out fire control. A third section attacks a transport attempting to veer north. Lieutenant Charles Roberts punches through the deck and detonates near the engines. Within minutes, multiple ships are burning, adrift, or disabled. The SBDs pull out of their dives, climbing away, their mission accomplished. Back at Henderson Field, 17 of the 18 aircraft return, some with flak damage and bullet holes, but all still airworthy. It's a remarkable outcome, especially against ships that were alert and armed. Japanese commanders monitoring the situation are stunned. How could such a small group of aircraft inflict so much damage? Their assumptions that it takes mass formations to hurt moving ships have been shattered. The dive bomber's ability to strike with precision, from steep angles and close range, challenges everything they thought they knew. In Rabaul, Admiral Junichi Kasaka studies the after-action reports. His analysts finally recognize the role of the strained flaps on the SBD's wings. They're not auxiliary surfaces. They're speed brakes designed to stabilize steep dives and allow for pinpoint accuracy. Kasaka and his staff begin to realize the tactical implications. Their ships are not just vulnerable, they're exposed. Without air cover, every run into the Solomons becomes a gamble. Surface convoys now need to factor in not just enemy ships or submarines, but a handful of American dive bombers based a short flight away. As the day ends, the pace doesn't slow. Ground crews at Henderson Field refuel and rearm the returning aircraft. Intelligence reports another convoy heading down the slot under cover darkness. Sergeant Mike Torres oversees bomb loading while briefing new pilots. He taps one of the Dauntless dive brakes. "These flaps are why we hit what we aim at," he says. In night operations, the pilots adjust tactics. Shallower dives, tight formations, dead reckoning, and starlight navigation. Even in darkness, the SBDs press the attack. At 21:45, a new wave of SBDs launches. Morrison leads his group through rain squalls and broken clouds. Over the sea, faint phosphorescent wakes betray the movement of enemy ships. Despite radio silence and blackout conditions, the Americans find their targets. Bombs fall. Fires break out. One ship staggers and slows. Another is raked by blasts and goes dark. The convoy breaks formation, losing momentum and cohesion. What was meant to be a night dash becomes a gauntlet of fire. By dawn, the damage is evident. Oil slicks and debris litter the sea where ships once steamed in column. Coast watchers confirm that no bombardment reached Henderson Field overnight. The base remains intact, still operational, still dangerous. Colonel Richardson sent a message to higher command. Multiple Japanese ships confirmed sunk or damaged with minimal American losses. He recommends sending more SBD squadrons to Henderson and building out more forward strips across the Solomons. The lesson is clear. The SBD Dauntless isn't just a dive bomber. It's a weapon of transformation. Its design, with those strange Swiss cheese flaps, delivers stable, steep dives that make traditional evasive maneuvers nearly useless. And when flown by trained pilots using evolving tactics, the aircraft punches well above its weight. Small formations can now achieve results that once required entire wings. That's not luck. That's innovation, discipline, and adaptation under fire. As October draws to a close, American dive bombers have sunk or disabled multiple destroyers and transports. Daylight movement becomes nearly impossible for Japanese ships. Even night offers no guarantee of safety. From Henderson Field, American air power reaches out, reshaping Japanese strategy and pushing back the line of battle. The SBD's dive breaks, once seen as a quirk, now represent a strategic advantage. And every mission flown from that rugged coral strip proves that in the Pacific War,